Well, hello again. I'm Catherine Clift. I'm a women's empowerment coach, and I help women entrepreneurs believe in themselves and their value by uncovering and clearing the blocks around money and worthiness that keep them stuck so that they can make a fabulous living doing what they love. Now, is that you or someone you know? But the last time in my video, we discussed the 5 types of money. They were savings, debt, income, income goals, and toxic money. Now, last time we discussed savings, and we said it basically reflects security and how safe you feel in the world. Today, we're going to touch on debt. Most people have an extreme aversion to debt, and debt represents your inner worthiness. In fact, it goes a little deeper than that. It reflects a very deep program that we pretty much all have called I'm not good enough. So if you have debt, you basically means that you don't feel that you basically come up short, that you are not good enough, you can't seem to crawl out of that debt. All right, so are you ready to do another exercise? So what I want you to do is I want you to write down what your debt is. That can be credit card debt. Typically, that is what most people do think about as their credit card debt, student loan, perhaps, things like that. If you don't know, then guess at it, because your subconscious mind has a very good idea of what that number is. Okay, now once you write down the number, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just sit for a moment, because looking at that number can be extremely triggering. All right. Now open your eyes, and I want you to think about when you look at that number, what are the 2 main feelings that come up when you look at that number? And don't be too quick. Again, we are trying to get into the subconscious mind. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it disappointment? One of the main feelings that most of my clients put down is embarrassment. And embarrassment really is another word for shame. Do you feel a certain amount of shame by being in debt and that you've never been able to crawl out of it? Or maybe you're feeling like you're drowning in debt, right? But write down those 2 main feelings. And I want you to get in touch with where are those feelings in your body when you look at that debt? And just sit for a moment and just think about the debt and feel those feelings. And how intense are those feelings on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the most intense, 1 being the least intense. So again, where is the feeling in your body and how intense is that feeling? Next, I want you to write down what do you say in your head when you look at that number. And again, just take your time. What is your mind telling you when you look at that number? Is it positive or is it extremely negative? What are those thoughts? Is it something like, I'll never get out of debt? I was so stupid to get into this amount of debt. What is your mind saying? I hate this debt. I'll always have debt. What are those thoughts that are coming up as you think about your debt? And now let's look at the cost. If you don't do anything about that debt, what is it going to cost you? Do you stress out over it? That can affect you physically. Your health can be undermined. What is it costing you emotionally if you're stressed over debt? Do you worry about it all the time? Do you beat yourself up? Do you lose sleep? Is it affecting your relationships, your spouse, or your partner, or your family? What is it costing you if you don't do anything about it? Or maybe you think you can't do anything about it. And how long is it going to continue to cost you if you don't do anything about it? Think about that. It's already costing you. What's it going to continue to cost you? And finally, does thinking about that debt remind you of a situation in the past, of a battle, a betrayal, a time in your life when you never forgave yourself or someone else? Again, each of these money types has a trauma associated with it. So think about that. Is there a time in your life when you felt betrayed, or you were in a battle, or you never forgave yourself or someone else? Now look at that debt, and I want you to finish this sentence again. This means I'm fill in the blank. Does it mean I'm stupid? I'm an idiot? I'm a loser? I'm a failure? Or is it something positive? Again, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What is it when you just very quickly say that sentence? What pops into your head when you say, this means I'm what? Very revealing. Okay. Now, this programming basically has to do, again, this is past programming, limiting beliefs that are stopping you from achieving your goals. And I want you to make a commitment today that you're going to change that. In fact, I'm going to tell you something that's a little bit startling. So when you think about the two feelings that came up, let's say you had a feeling of embarrassment or shame. Believe it or not, those feelings come first, and then your mind creates your money situation. I want you to think about that. Again, it sounds a little bit woo woo, but the feelings come first, and then the mind creates the situation around those feelings. So I want you to not, it has not, and it's not just about your money. I want you to kind of look at your life and see where that pattern may be playing out. Pretty revealing, really. Now, again, this is past programming. And if you don't do anything about it, nothing is going to change. You're going to end up the same way year after year. What I want you to do is I want you to commit to making a change. I want you to say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to do something. I want to be abundant. I want to be prosperous. I want to be successful. And if that's you, I want to help you, because a lot of this programming is very subconscious, and you might think, well, I could do this on my own. Yes, you can, but it's going to be harder. And if you don't know it's there, how are you going to heal it or change it? And that's what I specialize in. So, what I want you to do now is again, we're only scratching the surface in these exercises. There's so much more that is deeper down, and that's what I help you uncover. So, right now, I am offering a clarity session for you. And in that clarity session, we get super clear on your goals, both short term and long term. I will diagnose the biggest obstacles and challenges that are holding you back and keeping you stuck. I will tell you exactly what to focus on in order to move forward. We will strategize, and based on our conversation, I will make a recommendation. And you will leave the session re energized, revitalized, and motivated to take the right action. Now, if I'm speaking to you, or if you know someone like that, I would love to be able to help them. So please reach out to my website, which is catherinecliftcoaching.com, and set up an appointment with me. I'm here to help you. In our next session, in our next video, I'm going to talk about income and what that represents. And again, we're going to go through a similar exercise. So again, this is Catherine Clift with Catherine Clift Coaching. Until next time, thank you.